You know a game has got to be good when it pulls you away from massive titles like Horizon Zero Dawn, but that's exactly what Yakuza 0 has been doing for me. This is SEGA's latest entry. I think they're up to 7 games with Yakuza 6 coming later on this year or very soon. This is Toshihiro Nagoshi, the famous designer that worked on Daytona USA and several other SEGA titles. This has been his opus. He's worked on all of these games as they've come to us over the years. And I've dropped in on various Yakuza games, which have focused on Kazuma Kiryu's adventures as a Japanese gangster, not always willingly a Japanese gangster, and having to do some heinous things over the years. But this one is a little bit different because obviously, as the title implies, it's a prequel. It takes place in 1988, and Kazuma Kiryu has been framed for committing a crime that he actually didn't commit, and decides that he's going to quit the clan and he's going to leave the service of the Yakuza and try to become a regular civilian. He gets embroiled in this unbelievably cool tale of corruption and conspiracy revolving around real estate in this fictional part of Tokyo. And he gets sort of caught up in a power struggle. He's chased and pursued by rival Yakuza gang leaders. And his tale is very interesting. And we also swiveled the camera a little bit to a fictional part of Osaka, and we follow Goro Majima, who is a nightclub manager who is also trying to leave the life of the Yakuza and manage a reputable business. Reputable in quotations, in this seedy kind of nightclub world of downtown Osaka. Everything is beautiful in the environments in this game. I love the rich neon colors just drenching the screen as you're walking past everything and getting caught up in conversations. There are lots of really crazy and cool side stories and subplots. That's the beauty of this game. I mean, everybody, I think, right from when Yakuza was first introduced, has always kind of, and myself included, has always wanted this series to kind of go off in, full anywhere directions and be a direct competitor to the Grand Theft Auto series. But Yakuza has never really been about that. I think partially because SEGA has invested quite a bit of money, obviously, in this franchise, but not the rockstar, size budgets that it takes to make a Grand Theft Auto. So you are still encountering invisible walls. You are still, looking at doorways that you can't enter, stairways that you can't climb. It's kind of linear in its structure in terms of, going from story beat to story beat, but it does kind of spread out in a lot of different directions. So you do get the sense of being able to explore and travel and kind of do whatever you want, but there are definitely limitations here. Now, a big chunk of the gameplay in Yakuza 0 is tailored around the combat in the game. Each of our 2 protagonists are sort of anti-heroes that we get to play, has a variety of different fighting sort of styles that you can change up on the fly by just pressing the D-pad button. Kiryu has the ability to go into this beast mode where he gets this kind of hulking kind of stance where he can pick up heavy things and beat people over the head with them. I preferred playing in the rush style and the faster style and getting a lot of quick punches in and finishing things up with nice combo attacks and things like that. On the flip of it, I loved being able to pick up a baseball bat and get into the SLUGGER style that Majima had. I thought that was super fun. It felt a little bit unfair to be beating up on mobsters and goons and thugs and the lowlife of these streets with a baseball bat, but I was sure damn effective with it. You're going to get a lot of repetition with these fights, though. That's my pretty big complaint with this game, is that after a while, not only are you seeing a lot of the same animations and you're doing a lot of the same kinds of moves and stuff in these fights, but you see a lot of the same characters over and over again, and I just wanted to avoid some of them. It almost felt like a classic JRPG where you had these random battles that just would appear out of nowhere and they got a little bit grindy and a little bit tedious. I felt the same way with the combat in this game. It's fun, don't get me wrong, and the first 6 or 7 hours of that combat that you see, it's still invigorating, but after a while you do start to see, even though you level up, even though you can unlock all kinds of cool abilities, and it's by spending real cash, which is funny. That's one of the great things about the fights in this game, is that every time you punch somebody, money just spills out all over the streets, and you're picking up cash all over the place. but you do see a lot of the same stuff over and over again. They've introduced these giant sort of monster men in this game. Mr. Shakedown, they call them. And you go up against them, and it's basically like fighting the Hulk. It's impossible. They just punch you once and you're done kind of thing. And they also take all your money, which really sucks. But if you level up your skills high enough, you can take these guys on and win back your cash and then some, which is kind of cool. And then you can trade your cash for all kinds of weapons and clothing sort of improvements and attributes that will help you gain even more money. This is a game, after all, about making your way through the underbelly of Japan and making money any way that you can. You do, help lots of innocent people along the way. One of the encounters that I had was kind of crazy. I actually streamed this. I helped a dominatrix become better at her job. And it was weird. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit weird streaming that, knowing that I had people watching me, and I was getting into these very strange conversations with this dominatrix. But, I'm a man of my word, and I helped this lady become better at cracking the whip and taking care of business, which was cool. I also went on dates and pretended to be boyfriends for characters and, help little kids. And I did some slot car racing. And this is why the Yakuza games have kind of taken on this cult status over the years. Karaoke, play some billiards if you want. But I loved going into the SEGA arcades. And since this is set in 1988, you've got brand new arcade machines of Outrun and Space Harrier. And they're so exquisitely modeled and detailed. And the way the characters just, get into the cockpits or sit down in the race car, it's just a celebration of being able to play these classic arcade games. And they're obviously beautifully recreated for us to really play and really engage with in the game. Love that stuff. Would love Sega to even go further with that and give us like a full Sega/Yakuza arcade through the ages kind of game. I think that would be incredible. This was a really, really hard game to put down. And in fact, I'm only putting it down because I'm getting besieged by other big titles. And yes, Horizon Zero Dawn is one of them. But Yakuza 0 is a winner, absolutely. This is a very accessible Yakuza game. I think the increased horsepower of the PlayStation 4 and the kind of modern machines has helped a game of this size. Everything runs really fluidly. I think the resolution of the characters' faces and all the cut sequences all look pretty damn good. Yes, there's still some quirky animations, and yes, those invisible walls still bug the hell out of me. I do want that sort of go-anywhere freedom of a Grand Theft Auto set in this universe. Maybe one day we'll get that from Sega. But this is really, really fun entertainment, and a big part of it has to do, with the narrative and with the crazy stories and the, insane characters. I met this, the other night I was playing, I met this sex addict who was just so happy to meet me. He was like in his underwear, and he was doing weird things. The one other knock that I would say about this is that women are very marginalized in this game, and I don't know how much of a reflection this is of the, the nightlife that they're trying to set up around, the Yakuza storytelling or whatever. But women are just props in this game, like wearing skimpy dresses, and they're sort of to be won. And there's even, you can watch some soft porn videos and stuff in this. I kind of like it's trying to be authentic and trying to create this morally ambiguous kind of narrative for us to follow through. It feels wrong in 2017 to have women portrayed like this in a game this big, and obviously that's had this much love and attention paid to it, but I think it's probably true to the spirit of this franchise, so, longtime fans are probably not going to bat an eyelash at this. I certainly did, but it didn't tamper my enthusiasm. It didn't make me want to play this less. I really, really, really enjoyed Yakuza 0, and I know it's not going to be for everybody out there, but if you're into this idea of, playing a crime drama with some really crazy characters and some unbelievably cool scenery, you should check this one out. I'm going to give Yakuza 0 an 8.5 out of 10. Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.